to one another, but it definitely sounds like some conversation there that's getting a little heated sometimes too. Of course, you're saying that they talk like that anyway, potentially, even if they're not upset. So that's interesting.
Well, we got all kinds of different sounds we recorded up there. Language.
Yeah.
That's language, by the way. Let me play another one for you. It's me interacting with them. Now, this is 3 years after that. This is 1974, I think it was. This is a short one. That was one of those nights when I got to see one.
Oh my goodness! Was that one of your whoops in there as well, or was it just all Bigfoot that we heard?
No, that was me whooping back at him, the louder one.
Yeah,
I was trying to mimic that on several things, and I think they were having a kick with us that night. That's when we also had there was a little one, a female, I think, and the male was up behind me. And the male come shooting down the hill. That's when I saw him, and going down to the other two, and that was the one that made that what they call the samurai cry. And actually, Matt Moneymaker from the BFRO coined that in 1995 when he first heard it, just before he heard before he started the BFRO. He's a guy on that's Fighting Bigfoot program, you know. And
of course, yeah.
He come up and heard that, and he said, "That sounds like a samurai." Well, that coined it right there because he put it on this website. Actually, that's how the cryptolinguist got a hold of us. He found out who was behind those sounds, and samurai cry, I think, was the. In fact, I got that if you want to hear it. But
well, that would be fascinating because that's quite a famous term. So we might as well listen to that one if we could.
Well, I got all these sounds on. Not all of them, but I got a lot of these on 2 different CDs, Volume 1 and Volume 2, the Bigfoot recordings. And I might as well plug my website. It's ron-morehead.com, where you order these things.
Yeah.
And either one of my books. My first book is Voices in the Wilderness, and it comes with a CD. So when I get to the context, it's my chronicle. When I get to the context of the sounds, you can actually hear the sound. And I produced that in 2012. And here's a.
I just want to add this while you're queuing that up, Ron. It's Ron Morehead, and it's More, not Moorhead, because I have a tendency to try to do that, and I guess it's because you're like James Bond. People think you're like Roger Moore.
Morehead.com.
Morehead.com. Yeah, so they've got to find it out.
It's under Bigfoot Sounds too, so Bigfoot recordings. Either one of them. Here's one that's when we first started hearing these things in 1974, that night when we got into camp. They'd gotten into camp before we did, by the way. We found a big track on the trail, and we kind of knew we were in for it. But this is all on my CD. Here's a. That's one of my little mimicking back at him or yelling at him or something like that. We was getting kind of comfortable at that time, you know. I know this is now they're according to cryptolinguists, the same vocal mechanism made the sounds from the other ones that you heard, the real rapid chatter, aggressive sounds, made these sounds also. So he thinks that they have probably tried to slow their vocalizations down to something we might be able to understand. And I've had a lot of people tell me, if I just listen to them, that they'll tell me exactly what these things are saying. But when I listen to them, they all tell me something different, so I don't know who to believe. I still don't know what they were asking me. They were talking to me that night. And,
well, that one definitely seems to respond to your mimicking of them with continued vocalizations.
Yeah. Yeah, let me do the samurai loop right quick. This is looped twice, I think, so we can hear it.
Okay.
Let's call the samurai chatter.
Now, there are two vocalizations there. One of them very high, and then the samurai chatter part. Is that two different entities, do you think?
I think it is, yes. I think the one down at the bottom, there was three of them that night. And the samurai cry, I'm not, it's been so long. I think that's probably two different ones. The female was down there with the young one because we got that little voice recorded.
Yeah.
And then the big one was just behind us, behind a big tree up there when he left. So I got glimpses of him running through the trees. They're so fast, by the way. These things are so big, but so fast. It's like a train going by you or something. Can't believe how something like that can move so fast without stumbling or something. Just.
And when they move that fast, are they also making a lot of noise, or are they pretty stealthy as well?
No, well, they're very stealthy. Very stealthy. It's like they're floating through the forest, not walking.
Wow.
Or running.
Yeah.
I've heard keeping up with cars going 40, 50 miles an hour sometimes. But, you figure these things are so tall and so big and their legs are long, they could probably outrun a horse. That's saying something.
Yeah, I think there's a video of in Alaska where they were keeping up with a herd of caribou. I don't know if you remember that one. That was from a while back, but yeah, but it is funny that as Ron says, that's exactly how people say to me, well, how do you know it was a Bigfoot? Well, hey, I was right in front of it, or it was in front of me. But it does look like it. Literally, if you didn't see their legs, it looks like somebody rolling past you on a skateboard. It's like their heads don't move. It's a weird thing. There must be some weird morphology with their hips as far as how they can do that. But they're very quiet, and it's just not like an animal. It's just not like a bear. I mean, when you see it, you just know it's not. Bears make a lot of noise. They make a ton of noise when they're trying to come up to But this is.
And we've got a lot of bear up there. There are a lot of bear where we go.
Yeah.
We shot with them once. I think that's what stopped our close-in encounters. They used to come real close to our shelter at night and do things. But after we shot the bear, they seemed to have backed off a little bit, quite a bit, really. Now you just hear them from a distance, or don't hear them at all.
Yeah. Ron, have you ever heard of any interaction with Bigfoot and bears at all?
No, I haven't. I heard tales of that. I guess I did, but I don't know. Because we were having a bear tear up our camp one night. We had to shoot it. And he was out there just tearing through things. We thought, could that be Bigfoot? So we thought, and then we heard our pack saddles from our mules rip. We thought, well, that's not good. We don't want that. So we shined a light out there, and there's a bear tearing things up. But prior to that, we heard this Bigfoot behind us yelling out, screaming, and not screaming, but just yelling. And when we hearing the bear at the same time, so we thought, well, I've wondered if was trying to scare the bear, tell the bear to get away from there, or what it was doing, or waking us up to the bear. It was about midnight at night, and we went out and tried to shoot it off. And I write about this in my book, Voices in the Wilderness. But he wouldn't go away. We ended up, he actually came down at us, which we saw just a few feet away from us. But he looked pretty big when he stood up. His first two times we ran him off, he just circled around, came right back. So we ran out there with our guns and had to pop him. But we skinned him out the next day. And I got to tell you, that was a weird feeling. I didn't like that at all. We ended up eating his hindquarters and burying the rest of him. But it was kind of sad. He looked like a little person. You ever skin a bear or seen a bear skinned? That's just weird. Anyway, I kind of stopped hunting after that. It just bothered me. And seeing the bear.
That's why they think. That's why some people say that it is a bear, like with a mange or something like that. That it looks all, almost it looks almost human. But that's a tough one. But obviously, whenever you're familiar with what they look like and the type of sounds they make and everything like that, it's pretty hard to mistake one for another, I think.
Oh yeah, there's no comparison really in my eyes. I've seen a lot of bear up there. I've had them be real so they can't see with a flip, they can sure smell. They got an olfactory sense that's just way out there. They can smell. Anyway, I had a sow and 2 cubs. I was sitting on a rock with my rifle. It was hunting season. I seen these bears walking towards me. I just sat still because I was wondering how close can they get before they smell me or see me or something. And they got probably 30, 40 feet away, and one of the little cubs come up close to me, and he still didn't see me. All of a sudden, he caught a whiff of me, and he stood up. He ran back to his mom, and they all 3 just shot off. But it's just amazing, how bears are. They just can't see. And I was sitting right there in front of them.
Fascinating.
Anyway,
well, Ron, I tell you what, we're getting down here to the end of the show, and first of all, I want to thank you again for spending all this wonderful time and sharing these sounds that are just fascinating. But let's have the folks one more time get the information they need from you to be able to purchase some of these recordings and find out your website again. How about letting us know those again?
Well, it's ron-morehead.com. That's MOREHEAD. Or it's BigfootSounds.com. Either one of them gets you there. Or BigfootRecordings.com. And my books and my CDs can all be ordered from that site. My 2 books are available on Amazon. Just The Quantum Bigfoot and Voices in the Wilderness. And the next convention I'm going to be at in Hastings, Nebraska, in the 15th of February.
Well, fantastic. And Kevin, I'm going to let you take us out of here by thanking Ron, and then we will be you and I talking again later. But thank you again for joining me as the co-host.
Oh yeah, no problem. I just want to say again, thanks Ron for letting me thanks Michael too for letting me kind of co-chair here. But it is nice to have a little bit of a different discussion. I sorry about your throat there, and I was trying to help you out rather than just dictate what was going on.
Did.
But yeah. And
thank you. I appreciate you putting up with me. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys tonight. So.
Yeah, and I do think it's an interesting thing with Ron. It's if you are looking for somebody who has gone the full gamut from one experience to another, and the journey that he's gone to. Whenever you're young and you have an experience like this, sometimes you spend your whole life, and I can attest to this, spend your whole life looking for the answer, and sometimes you just never get there. And, it is a strange thing. And then you start to experience more and more different things, and then you actually start to, instead of narrowing it down, sometimes it feels like you just expand it out even more. So, it's a fascinating thing to talk to Ron about his journey, and if you get a chance to see Ron and meet Ron and talk to Ron, it's genuinely going to be an eye-opening experience, and not to mention that you'll be able to look the guy in the eye and say, yeah, this guy's telling me the truth. He's really telling me what he thinks, and so that's always a nice thing to have to say. And
the science behind it's what's important. I think that's what people appreciate is that we've had them studied. The sounds have been studied, so it's not just my words saying it; it's professionals' words too.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. But you know how that